Hello, welcome to Multifamily on Zoom this afternoon. Thank you for being here. But unfortunately, our speaker has a last minute conflict and could not make it today. So instead of canceling the meeting, so I say, whoever come here, we're going to be talking about real estate because that's what we do, right? But Jerry showed up. So because Jerry is here, Jerry going to turn into our guest speaker. He didn't get the invite. He didn't get
I'll
an
I'll do this
invitation.
for I can do this for like maybe 15 minutes. So yeah, let's
That's
see.
right. That is fine. Just having people here, that's all that matters. Because the room it's about for us to be talking about our bottlenecks, what's going on, how we can get better, in the market, another, networking. Because people will be calling me in this meeting and say, hey, I have this. Do you know who can help me with that? And I'm like, weren't you in the meeting the other day? Why you didn't say that? Like, I don't think they understand they're here to help each other. And that's what we meet, not only to learn, but also to help each other. If you have something, you never know. Maybe someone may be interested. Maybe someone is going through the same. Maybe someone who have gone through it can help you. So, Jerry, since you're here, my question to you is we want to talk about why we're doing this. So my first question to you, how did you start in real estate?
I started real estate back in 2016. I almost stumbled onto it. Um, I was in California, working. I did corporate finance for a construction supply company, and one of my friends who's a realtor bought a house, and she had a problem with the contractor. She's like, "Hey, can you help me? Like, I think my contractor's taking advantage of me." Went had a conversation with the contractor because I deal with contractors in my day job, so dropped a few terminologies and the contractor backed off. So that's when my friend started the idea. It's like, we should team up and flip houses. So that's what we did from 2016 to 2020. And started of 2019 is when I started with multifamily. Just kind of graduated up.
Right, right. So, like, I know you stumbled upon it according to what you just told me, but I'm sure you have a why. Why do you do what you do?
Yeah. So multifamily, it's a business. Single family is great. Single family is, if you're flipping, it's great income. It's chunks of income. If you rent a house, it's good cash flow, but it also takes a lot of your time. Multifamily is a business. So once you set it up, you put the team in place, you put the operations in place, then it's up to you how much time you want to spend on it. Right. So it's an actual business. It has a maturity date. By that, I mean like it gets to a point where it's going to run itself. And then you can free up your time to take your kids on vacation, go get another multifamily, or just sleep in for a day. Right? So you get that flexibility where you don't have in most other things.
Yeah, but what is your why though? Why do you do this?
Besides a bucket load of money, just like,
Yes. It
yeah.
has to
So
be
my son,
more than the money. I know there is more than the money.
yeah. So I was lucky enough that my parents sent me to college. They pay for everything. And I will do that for my son. He's 16. So, my payment date is coming up. So it's getting there. It's good to, I see that between like me and my friends, where it's like I'm not burdened by student loans and I can just go get a job, do whatever I want without worry too much. Like, hey, I think this is the best job for me on my path. I don't have to worry about, so, oh, I hate that job, but that job pays me 10K more because my student loans, I should take the other one. Right. So you had the freedom and to pick the path you want. So I want to give my son that as well.
Is great. That is great. Yeah, helping. your family and create freedom and eventually build a legacy. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the job that got me to California, they paid me 50 grand. And 50 grand doesn't get you very far in California.
out in
But that, that
California.
that was the California was a draw, right? It gets me to California. I was like, I'll figure it out once I'm here. But at least it got me here.
So where were you back then? Where did you come
Uh,
from to go to California?
Before that, I was in upstate New York.
Oh, really? So you're
Yeah.
one of those New York brats. Okay. All
No, no,
right.
I got there for grad school and kind of got a job and I stuck around a bit, and I was
I
just
see.
really tired of the cold.
Oh, okay. Okay. So now that you are in real estate, what the business being a business, but you also talk about the freedom you have, uh rather, you make money, you get freedom, but what truly what did you get from what you're doing right now? Like, what did you get from it? Like within yourself, do you feel any self-fulfilled and some type of,
No,
I don't know,
not there yet. I'll get there. Not there yet.
you're
Sorry,
not there
I'm
yet.
started driving. Uh,
Okay.
I feel like that self-fulfillment comes in later. Right now, it's about the building, the grind. It's
Right,
this business is not as easy as the school will let you think, right? Whether you guys are MFM or you mentor, whichever school, but this is still a business. It's business. You have to build it, and
right,
once I build enough, going from being a student to running my own deals to getting to be a sponsor, now I'm building awareness right now. And I was like, okay, now if I want to market myself as a sponsor, I gotta go build my brand.
right.
So you're still building.
Yeah. But that's great to hear that, because a lot of people think it's all rosy. And so what would you tell somebody who just started right now? Let's say someone who's looking at it, okay, I want to be a student and I want to do this. What would you tell them? Okay, or what would you tell your younger self, or when you started this, when you just started, what would you do differently?
Um, Pick a lane, probably. Pick a lane, and if you don't, there's so many paths to do this, and I know we're all pitched one path, which is find a deal, find a sponsor, right? That and then go from there. But if underwriting is not your strong suit, like finance is not your strong suit, then that's not your path. But you can do fundraising, you can be boots on the ground for someone, you can do other stuff. So find your path, pick your lane, but also have an understanding of all the other aspects of things. So one of the best term I heard in this industry was from I forgot his name, the Dutch guy that's doing multifamily. It's a pretty famous one. Rockcliffe. Rockcliffe's he said we're all generalized. Sorry, we're all yeah, specialized generalists is what he said. Specialized generalists. Is that we pick a lane that we want to specialize, but we're also generalists that we have an understanding of all other aspects.
Yeah.
You want to be an
Um,
underwriter, you gotta understand the market. You gotta know how to talk to investors because when people bring investors, they might ask questions related to finance. You have to be able to talk about it. Other way around, if you're a fundraiser, you have to be able to look at an underwriting and truly see that, okay, this is conservative. This is the right approach for me and for my investors' tolerances, not just because, oh, Jerry said it's a great deal. I should put all my money and grab all my investors and let's go. So, yeah, you don't have to do everything, but you need to understand everything.
that is so true. That is so true. You need to have a great understanding of what's going on. And even for your business, because when you understand better, you ask better questions. to the people who work for your business as
And
well.
literally just that, just ask questions. You know, please ask questions. I host a Zoom call once a month. I tell people we budget 20 minutes at the end for Q&As, and it's been 3 months. I have one question that someone brought. I was like, please bring your questions. I know that you all have questions.
They have questions, yeah. So I don't know. Sometimes people, I don't know if they're scared of talking because I go to the same thing with my community. The people don't ask questions, and I feel like I can ask the question for you, but when it comes from you, you listen better, you pay better attention, and you can actually implement what
And
you've been
it's
told.
from the student's lens, right? So you can take someone's questions, but you might have modified a word, and I might perceive that question from a different angle, and I end up not quite answer the question that the student wanted to hear. Right. So it's things like that happens. Like sometimes one to two words can change a lot.
That's
So
true.
I was like, please ask, your question. There's, people say there's no such thing as a dumb question. There is. Dumb question is the one that wasn't asked.
Right, right. And then the question I may ask and the question you may ask may be a much higher level headed question because we much further in our journey than somebody who just coming in. And there's all that involved. But earlier
Yeah,
you talk
I
about the grind. Go ahead.
no, I was like we tried. I said if we start this meeting, I mean I know there's only a few of us here, but if there's like a large group, right? I usually want to start the meeting. I was like, okay, how many of you like been here less than 6 months? How many is a year? Right? That way I can see what people's backgrounds are, then to maybe tailor some of my words, like maybe less, industrialized terminology, maybe more common use of terminology. Like I would use like year built versus vintage, small things like that that would get across to more people.
All right, that sounds good. Oh, guys, Daniel, thank you for just joining. I just want you guys to know our speaker has a conflict of a last minute conflict and couldn't make it today. He's a broker of a large company in the DFW area in Dallas, Texas. So because he wasn't there, we still conduct the meeting. But Jerry came as a Jerry was here just like in the audience. And I've told Jerry, hey, you're going to be my guest today. But really and truly, those questions I'm asking Jerry is for any of you. And if you guys want to come in and pitch in, and that's fine, just get in there. And we're just having a
I am,
conversation.
yeah. And I've been doing this for 6 years. I am a sponsor. Suze didn't just picked out of like the first person walk into here and like, okay, you're gonna talk about stuff.
Jerry was supposed to be in that chair, but the truth of the matter is, today he just showed up and he's like, "Oh, Jerry, you my guest speaker." I know, so he wasn't as formal as should have been. So just
I
just
got
have
maybe like 5, 10 minutes left, so I'll take a couple questions before I have to jump.
okay. Anybody has some question for Jerry? Jerry, would you talk about some of your what you're doing, some of your portfolio? And I know you
Yeah,
guys just
so
acquired a brand new property in Austin.
yeah,
Was that
so
in Austin
we
area?
yeah, we do something a little different. Um we like to go where we can succeed, and then we're, not just because that's where everybody else is. We'll go somewhere where we figure out a path. So personally, my primary market is Portland, Oregon, and Denver, Colorado. It's a lot less competition. And we figure out how to make those markets work. So that's been doing well for us. And if anybody's have looked at a deal in Texas, Texas is there's a lot of operators. Rent is gone up a lot in the last few years. So now it's flat. In some markets in Texas, it's actually going down a little bit.
That's true.
So we closed a deal back in March outside of San Antonio, and that was going to be a expense play where we're going to register as a light tech that brings down our property tax, that brings down our insurance. We got like a 25 basis point discount on our loan, right? So anything that brings the expense down to protect our NOI. So it's just, slightly different shift. So that's why, we try to do things a little different and but still provides a good return. Like the ones we have in Oregon, I'm in a PSA negotiation right now in another property in Oregon. We were the only person looking at it from start to finish. Talking to another broker in another deal right now. I'm one of two people looking at it. It's a lot easier to win a deal when you're the only person looking at it, the deal.
That is true. That is true. And then you have more bargaining um
Yeah, and
opportunity.
the
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
one, yeah, the other one is, I asked the broker, I said, hey, is me and one other guy, what's he doing? Where's his numbers at? He's like, oh, the guy told me gonna send an LOI, he's gonna send an LOI, nothing yet. I'm like, okay, so I got time. Yeah, I'm gonna spend some more
It,
time, study this, and get some quotes from contractors. Like, okay, I got time.
right, right. That gives you better enough
Yeah,
time
so
to do more due diligence and look better into it. All
yes,
right. So do you guys have any question for Jerry? I mean, Jerry's a sponsor. If you have a deal, he can work on the deal with you. If
yes,
of
I
course
am
the deal
in those
makes
markets.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just my market, right? It's like if a student have a different market that they're looking at, just please let me know. I'm open to deal pitching. Hi, Joseph. I met Joseph a few times.
Hi, Jerry.
Joseph,
So
my friend
yeah,
Joseph.
so just let me know why you like that market, and for my own personal sake, please tell me how the property tax is calculated because every county is different. Not every state, every county is different.
That is true. That
I
is
have
so
a
true.
question here for Jerry.
Sure.
Jerry, if you underwrite a deal and then you bring it you send the LOI to the broker,
Hmm.
and then the broker gonna take your LOI and then give you work it out, and then to prove you that your number need to be a little bit higher, and then he gonna tell you that he's gonna propose you somebody to mortgage it, something like that, to make it close. No, let me rephrase it. You have the deal, you underwrite it, and then you got the numbers, but the asking price, it's not close, it's not low. But the broker that you send the LOI to, and then gonna call you and then tell you, let's put it to the asking price. Here is the way we can do it. We can find somebody to finance it at this price. What would you say to the broker?
Um, I want to see an actual debt quote from that proposed lender. I want to make sure that that's actually there. And then to add to if you want me to change my numbers, and I gotta see that even with that debt, it still works for me, right? And then we're talking like very, very small movement. It's not just because, oh, you found a different lender, all of a sudden I can go up $2 million. No, you're not gonna get a jump like that. It's still small increments. But when a broker makes an offer like that, if that's a relationship I want to nurture, I was like, sure, send me the debt quote, let me plug it in to my underwriting, and let's see where I end up. Like sometimes it goes up a little bit, and if it's not enough, then it's not enough. If it's enough, cool, let's get the deal done. But we're not gonna submit an LOI and then have the loan come in later without getting a quote first. What if that loan comes in and it's a different number and it wasn't as expected? Um, here's a quick little example. We had a broker. The deal is presented by Northmark, so they're a broker and a Fannie Freddie direct lender, so they know what they're talking about when it comes to loans. I got a deal and then a debt sheet from them from back in April. Cool, 5.9%. All right, ran with that number. At the same time, I was looking at a different deal in the same market, so I had to go to a different broker to give me a quote. That quote
Mhm.
came back 6.2%. So I went back
Okay.
to Northmark. I was like, hey, this quote sheet is now 3 months old. And it's still 5.9. Like, oh, no, no, no. Things have changed. Like, okay, then I need a new quote sheet. It's like we can't do this deal until I get a new quote from you guys. So yeah, things like that happens, and you just keep that communication going.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. And also make sure that that price they want you to go for, the asking price, actually work for you. So when you get all your numbers together, if the broker wants you to come with the asking price, first and foremost, I will make sure it's working. If there's no way I can make it work, no matter you can give me the best lender, it's not going to work. It's just the way it is. I mean, it's a numbers game. We all know that. The numbers have to make sense. If the numbers don't make sense, you cannot do the deal because you want in a syndication. It's not your own money. You have to pay. You have those return that you promise. You need to come
And
with them because that's how you create trust.
and don't be frustrated if the broker is like, oh, I ran my numbers in my own brokerage. It should be great because the broker only cares about the down payment. Right? It's like how much down payment is needed to close the deal. That's what they run their cash on cash AAR. That's what they run their number against. But we have CapEx, operational reserve, acquisition fee, loan points, closing costs, right? All the other stuff we had to bring in, which end up being quite a bit higher of a number. So yeah, don't be discouraged when the lender is like, but it looks great on my end. I was like, doesn't matter. It needs to look great on this end. Your end doesn't matter as much to me.
Yep, that's just the way it works. Anybody else has any question for Jerry? Jerry has to go.
Uh,
No
I'm
question.
stuck in traffic in LAX, so it's actually going slower than I was expected. So yeah, I got like maybe one or two more questions.
All right, I'm gonna call people's name. Oh, Danu, do you have a question? I think you
Uh-huh.
went a little bit. Do you have a question? Or do you want to tell us about yourself? Phil, Sharon, this is what we're doing today. And that's how I kind of started having Jerry speaking. Um, but really and truly, like I said, our speaker couldn't make it today at the last minute. So we didn't want to cancel the meeting. We still wanted to meet. But what I really wanted to do today is people introducing themselves and say why they doing this, and how did you start, or where you at in your journey. Anything you want. What's challenge you are facing right now? Is it capital, raising capital? We all facing that. Fighting deal, we all facing that. But you might have something that right now I need that, I don't know, 500K right now, right now. We all have different things. We all maybe are like, I need $40,000 right now. So it's different. Is it team building? Is it getting your first deal? What are you doing? So I'm gonna go to other rooms. Guys, put on your camera so we can talk today. Sharon, do you want to put your camera on? Phil, I know Joseph was speaking. I don't know what's going on. DN, guess? DN? Okay. Daniel, go ahead. I'm back to you. So, I've seen you here before. Hi, Phil. Thank you. So, would you like to tell us, introduce yourself, tell us what you do, and we're gonna go around the room. I can hear you. You're muted. Unmute
Oh,
yourself. Today is
oh.
the day we all need
Can you
to
hear
be
me
on
now?
mute. Ah, we can hear you.
Okay, my name is Daniel Brown. Primarily, I'm a fix and flip guy, and I also own a small trucking company. And I'm kind of sort of on the sideline. I think my challenges right now is finding deals and access to capital.
Wow, that's the common denominator for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Finding their capital. That these are the
Yeah.
two things I always hear people. But how did you start into real estate? Like,
Well, I'm Jamaican, so I'm from the islands, of course, and I think it started from my mom. You know, back in those days, she thought partner and buy her first house, second house, and so on. So it was embedded in me as a child, as a kid, and that's how we built wealth when we first came to this country.
All right, that is great. One other question I asked earlier, what is your why? Why do you do what you do on a daily basis?
Oh, I got two trucks, and I drive one of them, and that's what I do on a daily basis. That keeps me busy. But I'm trying to at least park one or get out of it of the truck right now. I think I'm getting a little bit too old for it.
No, but what is your why? Why you do what
Oh,
you, why you
why?
wake up
Oh, I'm
every day?
sorry.
Yeah, what is your why?
Oh, I'm looking for passive income. I'm trying to retire.
Okay, there you go.
Hmm.
That's a great one. Trying to retire, get that
Hmm.
freedom, do whatever you want. All right,
Uh-huh.
thank you so much for talking to us. And
Mm.
Phil, you're on the seat now. Hi, Phil.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing great. Thank you for joining today. But next week, the booker will be here. He told me he'll be here next week, but this week he has to cancel. He cancel an hour before we go live. So, I know I've seen you here before. Would you please tell us where you're from and just introduce yourself? What do you do on the daily basis?
Yeah, I'm based in Phoenix, Arizona, born and raised, so I've been here all my life. I do some private money lending. I do buy and hold is what I want to mainly focus on. We just sold one of our properties in Columbus, Ohio, uh, at the end of May. So we had that for about 5 years. Um, and I'm just looking to, it was a duplex. I'm looking to expand into larger small multifamily, I guess we'll say. Because I kind of consider 4 units or less a residential, as
Right.
most real estate agents and everything would look at. So, but yeah, I'm looking in the Columbus market still. If I can get something here in Phoenix, obviously I do that in my backyard too. Uh, Two completely different markets though. So, one's more of
Yes.
the appreciation, and the other one is, hey, you get some daily cash flow, right? So,
Yeah.
so there's that trade off there with that. I'm trying to do them as creatively as possible, if I can. Um, but I know Jerry may have more experience with that since he's been doing it for a while. When I submit LOIs and things like that, I don't necessarily come at them with the creative side of it. Um, as as the first offer. You know what I mean? Unless they've already said, "Hey, we're willing to sell our finance or do something to that effect." So normally I'll give a regular cash offer and then go from there and say, "Hey, also I could do this," or if they push back some and say that's too low, or whatever it may be, and can kind of negotiate it from there depending on their situation. So yeah, I guess I've started back up into my other business that I had done for the past 6 years, pretty much since I got out of a W-2, which is just things with it's professional gambling is what it is, pretty much. Like I started out card counting, blackjack, and then got into other casino advantage play, things like that. So been doing that for the past 6 years. Ran a company for sports betting for 3 of those years, and then sold my portion of that out. And now I'm just back into with my old partner and going around helping them, traveling and beating casinos. So that's
That
pretty much
sounds
my
great.
background right now.
Great. What is one goal you want to accomplish in the next 12 months?
Even shorter than that, within this year, I would like to acquire another property. Since we got rid of this one, I've lost cash flow. My partner wanted to get out of it. Um, he thought buy and hold real estate was more passive than it actually is. And I tried to explain to him many times, you got to manage the manager still. So he wasn't looking for that. He needs to get into like more of a syndication or something like that, is what I told him, if he wants to deal with real estate and get tax benefits still and stuff like that. It really wants to be hands off. But yeah, so I we ended up selling that. So I could exit him, and then I want more doors anyways. So yeah, I would like to get a 10 to 20 units is kind of where I've been looking for. So yeah, I would like to acquire another property so I can get some of that 100% depreciation this year to negate my
All
other
right.
income.
Yeah, that sounds great. I have one more question. What is your real reason for investing in real estate?
Uh, Real estate's always been my end goal, even when I was in a W-2, knowing I needed to get out of that sort of work environment, of just that day to day work for someone else kind of thing. So real estate's always my end goal. The casino stuff is kind of just the day to day, cash right now and stuff like that. For that business, I'm still trading time for money. I'm not making money as much if I'm not there working and doing stuff. So to eliminate more of that from more time freedom, and then and just to continue, like I said, I want buy and hold. So I want that long term wealth generation.
That sounds good. Well, thank you so much for talking to us and let us know what you're looking for right now. If there's something you like, are you looking for cash? Are you looking for partnership? Are you looking for what are you what's one of the challenges you're facing right now?
I'm open to partnerships. Absolutely. Especially if I can help in any way for someone else to grow, or help them move further along, and then also obviously get gain that knowledge for myself to help myself move further along on this journey too. So, but the main thing is just finding the deals and making sure that they're um, just making sure that they're good, especially with the way the market is right now. You need a lot more cushion than previously. So, make sure that that's all there. I mean, like you said, capital is always good if it's available. If like I said, I'm focused on a creative stuff, so I kind of have that covered, I guess, with the way that would work out if you were able to do that. Um, and it may be, even if you can't do like 100% seller finance from the seller, but the main thing is just finding those deals that are. I've shrunk my box down into um, much smaller than just, hey, anything and everything, just to save time and stuff, underwriting and everything else. You can do it pretty quick, but if you're all over the place, it's gonna be your new job.
That
so
is true. That is
so yeah.
true.
So it's just finding the one. It'll take longer to find a deal, but when it's there, it's there. So
That is great. Well, thank you
yep.
so much. Thank you for participating today.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. Thanks for
my
hosting us.
next person, yes, thank you. Appreciate you. And Sharon, do you want to speak? Sharon.
Just really quick.
Hello.
Sorry,
Oh,
I do
hold
have
on,
to
hold
drop.
on.
So
Okay, go ahead,
thank
Jerry.
you.
All right, Jerry, thank
I do
you
have to
for
leave.
being
I do have
here.
to drop. So thank you
Okay,
everybody.
bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Jerry. Bye-bye. Oh, Sharon. Hey, Sharon. Can
Hey.
you introduce yourself? Say where you from, where you located, what are you doing, and anything about you.
Okay.
Just introduce
So
yourself. I know you've been here almost every week. Yes.
uh, I'm from the Caribbean. I live in Virginia right now. I met Sue. We were on a healthcare assignment on the same facility. So, she was always talking. She was already ahead of me into real estate. And it was sort of my desire to get into it. I had started to do little classes here and there. So here I am now. And I just felt like, okay, this is something I should really do. So seeing that we were doing more furnished finders and midterm rental, I decided that this is the time for me, seeing that I had some savings for 1K. So it was just the time where I have a little bit of savings that I could go ahead and experiment. And sure enough, it was an experiment because I knew nothing about numbers, but all I knew how to buy the property, how to furnish it, and put it on the market because that's what we do when we travel. So I did all that. However, it wasn't a great success at all because location is key. And I just felt that I have done everything right in terms of getting the place ready, everything else. But the location, for some reason, the numbers are off. So right now, in the process, it's the properties on the market so that I could, get that money and start all over again. And in the meantime, I have been working with a mentor. So I'm working with a mentor where we are doing ARVs and working the numbers as what to do. So here I am. I'm going to go back at it again. I don't believe that I would be a failure if I do not try again. That's
That's
me.
right. That's
So
right.
here I am going at it. So I took a step back, reanalyze the situation. So it's on the market. One, then I'm going to go again. Um, I just felt that I want to build generational wealth. That's my why. The second part of my why is I just don't want to retire and sit around doing what? So that's not a desire that I have. So I am going to go at it again. Um, I want to get into multifamily. So I want to take some time off to do underwriting so I could really understand the numbers and getting into um, multifamily. So that's my goal. So I'm in the process of trying to get a little more knowledge on multifamily and then step into it.
All right. That sounds great. Well, you answer all the questions.
I have grown because I would never talk before. So this kind of really right through my, so I'm getting there.
Well, you're ahead of most people. The average person, you're ahead. I mean, one of the things you've been doing, it's coming to this meeting for almost 2 years now, and you've met a lot of those speakers, and some
Yes,
of them you have reached out for services. So I know from where you started, from where I met you to now, I can tell you have grown a lot. But I don't know. What do you think about your own assessment?
yes, I think so too. I think so too.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah,
a lot more
that's
knowledge than
yeah.
before. So I
So
am
that
growing. So I'm
yeah,
keeping
it
it
is
up.
good. Yes, you are getting there. It's we have
Yes,
to look at life. It's like stairs. You one step at a time, and then
yes,
eventually you'll get there. So, but
yes,
the grind is not easy. But like you said, you can't give up. The minute you give up, what else? What you gonna do? You
correct,
know, what
correct,
else? So you have to keep on going. So that is
correct.
awesome. All right, Joseph, it's your turn. Where you from? Where you live? What do you do?
My my turn is
And
over. I
how
spoke
you
already.
get into real estate? You asking question, but you didn't introduce yourself. Introduce yourself, Mr. Joseph.
Yeah, basically, I'm Joseph Noel La Christmas. I'm so glad that there is a lot of island on this call today.
Right.
I'm from the Caribbean island too, but
Woo-hoo.
I'm in Philly, Philadelphia, Phillies, and then I have a background of a lawyer for my country. When I came here, I ended up on the healthcare. I'm a nurse here. That's why I was off the camera because I was getting ready to go to my W2. And then now, one of the reasons why I'm on the real estate, this is the path to get your financial independence. because I met a lot of people, and then I see they've been doing that, and then they keep doing it, and then they fly like an airplane, and then I want to fly too. And then I got my wife now that has a brain surgery, but I want to take her off work as soon as I can. But this is why I keep pushing, keep pushing. I do underwriting, and then I send LOI, and then I spoke with the sponsors like Jerry. I was on the deal with Jerry's, and then I have deal that turned down because of on the due diligence, and then I keep pushing. I'm gonna continue working until I hit what I need to hit, and then that will be it. So I'm happy to be here and then listen to kind of people, and then I'm gonna give a call to Lavim, right?
Phil,
Phil?
Yes,
Yep. Phil Lavin? Yep.
Phil,
a call.
I'll put my blink in the chat.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
go ahead. Yeah, put your information in the chat. And I think that's one thing I tell people when we come here. I think in my community, people don't do that enough to when there's somebody there, you guys network with each other, talk with each other, and see. That's why I always say, put in the comment what you're looking for. You're looking for a partner, or you're looking for some, just have a conversation with people. That way, when you have the conversation, that's how it's gonna click. Because that's how I found my partner. If it's through conversation, and that's how you start. You need to start talking to people, and that way you will find what you need. I believe in Tony Robbins always say that I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. What you focus on is what you're gonna see. If you focus on red car, you're gonna see so many red car while you drive it. So what you focus on is what gonna attract you. So I think that's what we need to do. When you want something, you keep at it, like Sharon is saying. I mean, yes, we're gonna have failures. Just because you have failures, it's not the end of the world. A failure means one failure means you one step closer because like all those things that uh Joseph is talking about, I remember I was so close. I put that, I was so close. My offer get accepted, and you still couldn't get that deal. The deal is right there. You're smelling it, and you get it. But let me tell you, each one of those is a step closer. You're learning something different each step. You may not have that deal in your hand, but you learn something that way next time you have a deal, you know how to do it better. You know how to present it better. You know how to talk to that seller better. You know how to talk to that broker better. So it's something you learn because sometimes certain things you never know a broker was going to tell you that. And then they told you like, oh, I could do this. Oh, I don't know. Like what Joseph was talking about, the broker say, okay, we have our own lending. We can show you. Yes, a lot of brokerage company, especially the big one, they have their own brokerage as they have their own lending as well. They have a lending side. I know Marcus and Millichap, they have a big uh, lending part of it, financing and all that. So they know this stuff. Now, your broker may not be an expert in finance, but there are people in his company that know those things. So that's why you need to build those relationships. And the more you build a relationship, the better. And there's one thing, was it Ed Mylett like to say? One more day. And really what he means by that, one more day. You're gonna try one more time. You can't give up. One more day. Maybe today. What if the day you decide, okay, I'm gonna throw the towel, and then the next day would have been the day
Yeah,
of your breakthrough. So you have to keep going until you get to where you want, and that's how you're gonna make it because that's how life is for everyone. There's nothing you want to do in life. You wake up one day and everything gets right in front of you. You work for it, and then when the time is right,
you get it.
and then that's when everything. But remember all those sweat you put in the back end, all those struggles, all the sleepless nights, all the time you're like wondering, okay, how's this going to come through? I don't know. What am I supposed to do when you doubt yourself? So this is part of the grind that um Jerry was talking about. People think it's an easy. It's not easy. The deeper you get, now it's harder to pull out because you have investors' money in your hand. You're in the deep
Correct.
end, you're in the deep sea. And
Yeah.
then now you have to keep going. And now it's like, okay, it's really hard. It's much harder than I thought. The theory that they give you make it sound everything gonna come out so easy. No, it's just like life. Nothing is like that that's that really gonna do something for you gonna be easy. You have to keep on pushing. You have to believe in yourself, believe in your God, whomever your God is, and then ask him for guidance and then to get you to the next level. And then of course your family behind you. You need to have your family support because I'm telling you one thing, you cannot focus to do something if you don't have the support of your family. So that's first and foremost to get this thing done. And then the rest, it's all your work, all the sweat, all the hard work you have to do, and the effort you have to put in it. And tell yourself, made a commitment to yourself. One commitment I make to myself, I will not let it
You,
go until I make it.
I'm
I
not
will
give
not
up.
let it go until I make it. And then once you make that commitment to yourself, you can give up. You're going to
Correct.
have to get what you want. Until then, you're not gonna let it go. Now, if something happened prior to that, the Lord called you home, that's different. But you're
Okay.
not gonna you have no control over that. But as far as I'm living and breathing, I'm gonna go for what I want.
Yes.
Amen.
And
Hallelujah.
that's the what gonna keep you in the game. Because yeah, some days gonna be that doesn't mean that someday that you're not gonna feel a little bit weak. Some days, I mean, there are times you be crying, there are times there are those moments, but then you pick up yourself again and then you have to keep on going. And that's part of life. And you have to look at every business, everything you're doing as life itself, because that's the way life goes. You're gonna find a lot of challenges and then a little breakthrough. More challenges, a breakthrough. And I think challenges make us become better, make us believe in ourselves more, and make us more confident. And that's another thing that challenge do to us. Believe it or not, we don't like that. We don't like failures. But guess what? We feel more confident once we get to the success. We like to talk about all those failures. All those
Yeah.
failures, because the failures are part of the success. There's no success without
Yes.
failure.
Yes.
So that is what the game is. So anyway, thank you so much, guys, for sticking with us and having that meeting today. If you guys want, let's have a picture. I won't send this one. I don't know if you guys decide. Do you guys want me to send this one to everybody else like we
You
always
have to
do?
send it. You have to send it.
Okay. All right. I'll send it to everyone else. But I don't know. Some people may feel like it's more that it's a small group and they don't understand it. So, okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and send it to the rest of the group. If you guys want, Danu, Amy, I didn't get to talk to Amy. Um, can we
Amy,
have a picture?
Amy
Put
is
your
here.
camera on,
She doesn't say nothing.
huh?
Amy is here and then she doesn't say nothing.
Amy just got here, so about
Oh,
15 minutes ago, so I didn't get a chance. It's already 3 o'clock.
okay.
Amy, do you want to say hi, Amy? No,
Yes,
I'm
it.
good. Okay, can you guys put on your camera so we can take a picture?
Anyway, good to see you, Amy.
Nobody want to take a picture? Hello? Okay, let me see if I can get it on gallery.
I'm
Okay,
ready. I have
Phil
to
is here,
go.
so yeah, let me take my picture. So y'all need to smile. Start smiling. All right, there you go.
Okay.
All my islanders, thank you for being here. For those of you who don't know, I'm from Haiti, and Haiti is
Oh,
in
we
the
listen.
Haiti
You
is
from
in the World Cup this year. We are excited. We are so
and they
proud.
play.
I'm gonna be going to the game in Atlanta. I am
We
so
play tonight. We play tonight in
yes,
Boston.
in Boston. Yes.
And
All right.
thank you, Sue, for doing this.
All right, guys, you're welcome. I love doing this. I learn more than
Thank
you
you.
guys can ever know. All right, guys, have a great
Bye,
one.
everybody.
Good night.
Bye bye.
Bye. Good afternoon.